Question number 4 is dealing with the fifths. All right, we got the fifths. Now remember, we're thinking about what is a decimal. We're gonna take this number and put it in decimal form and percent form. Percent means out of 100. All right, so 1/5, we've got one cake, and that cake has been cut into 5 equal pieces, and we get to eat, because 5 equal pieces, because the denominator is now 5, we get to eat one of those pieces of cake. Now we want to put that in decimal form. Now, in decimal form, we can put any fraction in decimal form by dividing it. You can divide it, or you can use an equivalent, you can use a proportion. Okay, we can say 1/5 is equal to what out of 100? Because we're nowhere going to percent here, so we can say out of 100, how much is that worth? So how could I get from 5 to 100? 5 times 20 is 100. So I can multiply the top number by 20. And that's 20 out of 100. So right there, I know this is 20%, because percent means out of 100. Now, here's another thing. This kind of cool thing. This would read 20 hundredths. 20 out of 100 is 20 hundredths. Now, how could I write 20 hundredths as a decimal number? 20 hundredths would look like this. 0 decimal, and then 20 in the hundredths place. That's 20 hundredths. All right. Now, I want to show you one other thing really quick. 1/5 is also a division problem. It is 1 divided by 5. It is the number 1 divided by the number 5. Okay, there's multiple ways you can do these, and the more you understand about math, the better off you're going to be. So if you've got this fraction, 1/5, that's 1 divided by 5. Like, push it over, act like you're pushing it over so the 1 falls in the box. Now, you might say, well, 5 won't go into 1. You're right. Add a decimal and a 0. Push the decimal up. Now, 1 will go into 10 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract and you get 0. So look, this number and this number are kind of the same, because this 0 is an insignificant 0, and I can get rid of it. I can erase it. All right, so 1/5. Now we're still talking about 1/5 here. All right, 1/5 is the same as 2/10 or 20 hundredths. Now you can move that decimal over or multiply 2/10 times 100, and that's like moving the decimal over 2 places, and gives us 20%. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. I'm going to erase this ratio I've got, this proportion, and I'm going to move my answer up. Okay. So 1/5 of the cake is 20% of the cake, because I'm trying to figure out how can I take 100 and divide it up into 5 equal pieces, and that would be 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. 5 equal pieces, 20 each. Now, let's look at the second part. I'm inhaling this dry erase dust. Now, if 1/5 is 2/10, then 2/5 is just double this. If you can double, then that's the thing about these. If you can never get the first one, you can get the rest of them, because you're just skip counting at that point. Okay, you're skip counting. So if 1/5 is 2/10, then 2/5 is going to be 2/10 plus 2/10, or 4/10. All right, if 1/5 is 20%, if we double it to 2/5, that's going to be 40%. Let's look at 3/5. This is going to be 3 groups of 2/10. So we're going to triple this one. Triple the 2/10, and you're going to get 6/10, or 60%. 4/5. Just make it 4 times. It's going to be 8/10. 2, 4, 6, 8. And those are all in the tenths place. 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%. Now the last one, 5/5. That's all of it. That's a cake. And that cake has been divided into 5 equal pieces. I'm going to do a really good job of making them equal there. And you get all 5 of them. You get all of the cake. You get the whole cake, one whole cake, and that is 100%. All right, I'll see you on the 6th.